What's cracklin', everybody? Welcome back once again to the definitive cereal tier list. For each episode, take a cereal, put it on the tier list, so you know how good it is. I'm your host, Tucker, and this episode we're going to be doing Honey Nut Scooters, the Malt O Meal version of Honey Nut Cheerios. This list has been going on for about a year now, so I figured it's a good time to jump into the Malt O Meal variety of cereals. So for the next month or so, we're going to be doing Malt O Meal cereals. So this one, like I mentioned, is the Honey Nut Cheerios version. Honey Nut Cheerios is an A. So will this bagged version, I guess that's the main difference, brand difference, whatever, will it be able to match up these scooters to Cheerios? Let's find out. So here we go. Okay, that's fine. Excuse me. Okay, do I have to start the whole thing? This is not going well so far. Oh, I think I have the wrong side. I guess that makes sense. It did have the marking. That's on me. Alright, well this looks like Honey Nut Cheerios. And this resealable technology they have here. Good enough. Okay. So yeah, looks like Honey Nut Cheerios. Smells kind of similar. Yeah, I don't know. Honey Nut Cheerios. That's what I'm expecting here. Okay, so the piece itself, minus any sort of coating, is number one difference. Doesn't taste quite the same. I think the crunchiness of normal Honey Nut Cheerios a little better. Second thing, different honey flavor. It feels almost sweeter, maybe? I still can't tell if it's just sweeter than Honey Nut Cheerios or if it's just not as honey-y, I guess. The flavor doesn't exactly match up. Like, you can understand that this is trying to be a Honey Nut Cheerio, but it just doesn't quite nail that same sort of flavor. You know, I guess it's good. It's a different cereal. Should taste different, but if you're trying to imitate a cereal, I don't know. I guess it'd be better to be a little closer. And while Cheerios, and to a lesser extent the Honey Nut Cheerios, do sagify at a fairly steady pace, these ones I think are going a little quicker into that final phase, which is worth noting. But part of that might also just be because initially they don't seem as crunchy as Honey Nut Cheerios did. So it might just be the same rate, but starting from a different spot. Hard to tell for certain. Now let's find out what type of honey nut milk you've got here. That seems a little closer to the Honey Nut Cheerios milk than the pieces were to the Honey Nut Cheerios flavor, which is interesting. Yeah, so, it's fine. It's kind of what you'd expect from a honey flavored cereal's milk at this point, so not much to complain about there. Overall, not off to a bad start for these Malt O Meal cereals. However, not really anything to stand out either. So this is a pretty decent imitation of Honey Nut Cheerios. However, it just doesn't quite nail a lot of the same aspects that, Honey Nut Cheerios do nail. And we all know they nail that because they are an A-tier cereal. This wouldn't say is an A-tier. The flavor's different enough that I don't think it's as really special, I guess is the word. Standout. I kind of already used that earlier, but you understand what I'm saying. And the crunch factor is much lesser, and so that means soggification factor is greater. There's just a handful of things that it misses in its attempt to be a Honey Nut Cheerios, which sounds like a lot of negatives, but this is actually totally fine. That's how I would say this is. I'd much rather have normal Honey Nut Cheerios for sure. Not really huge competition there, but I do appreciate, obviously, the reason you buy these versions is just their bulk size. So it does get props for that. But focusing on just it as a cereal, Honey Nut Scooters, I'm gonna give a C. Starting out middle of the road for these Malt O Meal brands. And again, a C is not bad. It's just fine. It's a pickup every once in a while if it's on sale or something, or maybe you just for some reason want this flavor and don't want to buy Honey Nut Cheerios. I don't know why. Like, at every opportunity, I think I would pick Honey Nut Cheerios over this, which comparing it to an A-tier cereal like that, it sounds like I'm being very negative about this, but I just wanted to be clear that this is not bad. There's not really, all the negatives are just in comparison to something better. It's not negatives that this is bad. You get it. So in round one, looks like the original wins. Cheerios greater than Scooters. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like and subscribe. In the comments below, post your general thoughts. What's interesting is I could point at this because this is a Post brand, but didn't actually say it, so didn't. But if you have enjoyed Honey Nut Scooters in the past, give me your thoughts on those. I almost thought about, for a lot of these Malt O Meal cereals, doing sort of a blind taste test sort of deal, but I have such a stock of cereal that buying a full box just for that, is kind of a mess. So maybe one day, once I've done all the stuff, all of it, I'll come back and, just for fun, do comparison stuff. So if you want to see something like that, sometime late 2021 at the earliest, I'd imagine, let me know. If you know why they chose the word scooters for these, feel free to let me know. Just if you have any fun Malt O Meal facts to start off this month with, let me know. But until next time, stay delicious.